Homework number 8, Routine and Positive Messages. You learned in Chapter 8 that much of the communication between a company and its customers and suppliers is about routine matters. The focus of this chapter is on writing such messages. At the end of this video, you should be able to explain what a routine request is and name the 3 most common types of routine requests. Additionally, you should know how to structure a routine message and be able to demonstrate what you know by applying the 3-step process to the creation of a routine communication. What does a routine request look like? If you are expecting a positive response to your request, and if the inquiry is the kind of message handled regularly in the operation of business, it would be considered a routine request. This means that the tone of your message can be friendly and polite. There are 3 main categories of routine requests. These include asking for information. Remember that in this type of request, the reader might need some explanation of why you want the information. For example, if you're requesting product information, it might be important to know when you plan to place an order, because availability and selection may change over time. Requesting a recommendation. References can be needed for a variety of actions such as scholarship or job applications, contracts, or employment. Let the reader know how the recommendation will be used, and remember that you should be appreciative. Include information about deadlines if there is one. Asking for an adjustment in response to some problem encountered with a business transaction. Be sure to keep the tone of your message professional and assume that your request will be granted. If necessary, provide documentation to verify your claim. How should your message be organized? In a positive communication, your message is generally straightforward and direct, and the message consists of these 3 parts. Start your message with the main idea, the request you are making, the information you are providing, or the action you wish the reader to take. Use the body of the message to provide detail. Express appreciation or goodwill in your closing, then summarize or restate the main idea. It should be absolutely clear to your reader what you expect to have happen next. Remember to use the 3-step process, plan, write, revise, to craft your message. Your finished work should contain proper formatting for the type of message you are writing. If you have any questions about proper format, consult Appendix A in the back of the book. Clear writing with complete information. Explain why you are making your request, and try to think about what your audience would need to know. Conversational tone. Remember that you expect your request to be received positively, so you should remain pleasant and polite. A clear expression of your expectations. At the end of reading your message, your audience should know exactly what you expect to happen next. For this week's work, choose one of these 2 problems to complete. Problem 4 on page 249 is a request for a letter of recommendation. It's written in the form of an email. Problem 8 on page 250 is also an email request, asking for information from store managers who work in your chain clothing stores. Your assignments don't offer a lot of detail, and sometimes you may feel it's necessary to make up the details you need to complete the assignment. That's okay. Obviously, in a real business situation, you would not make up details, but rather use the pertinent details of the actual situation to complete your writing. Once the work is submitted and the late period of 1 week has passed, I will post the book's suggested response. Obviously, no work will be accepted once the solutions have been posted. Here are some suggestions for each of the assignments. First, for the recommendation, explain what you will use it for. In this case, and in many real cases, you might be asking a former employer for a recommendation, so it would be a good idea to remind the reader about who you are and when you worked for them if some time has passed. If you think it's warranted, forward a copy of your resume or details about your work. Be sure to thank the reader. Writing a recommendation takes time and effort. Remember to include instructions such as where the recommendation should be sent and when it's needed. Routine requests always start with the most important information, so tell the reader what you want. Then explain why you need this information. This will motivate the reader to respond to your request. Include any details the reader will need, such as how the information is to be used or who will see it. This will help the reader to craft a more useful response to your request. Be sure to include any logistical deals such as when the information is needed and where to send it. As always, more information about how your work will be evaluated is available in the rubric for this assignment. Please note that your work will be evaluated for format as well as content. Include clear expectations, and be sure the reader knows what you expect to happen next as a result of this request. Use what you know about good grammar and usage rules to write properly. If you need help editing your work, consider using the Writing Center or schedule an appointment with the online tutor. Links for the Writing Center and online tutoring appear below this assignment. This assignment is due this Friday. Late work is accepted until next Friday. The publisher's suggested solution will be published on the following Saturday, and obviously late work cannot be accepted after that date. Remember that the suggested solution may not look anything like what you've written. There is always more than one correct answer to the problem. See you in room 2460 at 10 a.m. for presentations. Please plan on staying the entire 3-hour time.